It's Rana, and today I have a layout for Mix It Up Monday, and this is the sketch that was created by Shannon Blinn. We are using that sketch today and adding some mixed media to it. There's going to be a playlist down below in the description box that will show you everyone who's playing along. So today I'm using 49 and Market Vintage Orchard. I was thinking about using some of these frames to make a shaker. You saw in the sketch there's lots of squares. I did end up with 5 photos, and that's how many squares, so I ended up not doing a shaker. But I love that look, and that would have been an option to add some embellishment or some a shaker or something else to one of the squares. But I did have 5 photos, so I'm going to go ahead and use those. You saw my photos there, and I printed them. They look odd. I printed them on my Epson PictureMate, and I printed them on 4x6, but I only wanted a 3.5-inch square. So that's why it looks, the pictures looked funny, but I've gone ahead now and trimmed them up. I distressed the edges with my edge distressor and put some foam tape on the back of each of them. It's just fun foam that I use. And I also, off camera, went through each of those packages that I showed in the beginning and kind of narrowed down some pieces. I think it's just overwhelming when I start actually trying to create a layout if I have so much to choose from. So I've been kind of just pulling a few things out that I think I want to use, and then just having a pile of that and going through that instead of each package. And that's working out well for me. So I still will pull out sometimes like my little sequins, or like in this case it would be the little wishing bubbles, or something finishing touches, I guess. I'll do those at the end. I don't pull those off of the package or anything like that. But as far as my chipboard and my die cuts, ephemera pieces, that kind of thing, I've been just kind of narrowing things down, and I think it's making my layouts go a little bit faster. So that is what I did, and I'm getting my placement, and you can see that it is going pretty quick. I've kind of made some choices here, and I know I want to do my mixed media, so I'm not gluing anything down at this point. I'm just kind of trying to decide how I want it to look, and then I'm going to know where I want my mixed media exactly. But until I kind of have an idea of how I want the layout to look, I wouldn't know where to put my mixed media, I guess. So I really like this bird, and I'm working hard on trying to get it to work. And it is going to work right there. I ended up without the heart instead. And the little bees are going to find a home there. Maybe not in that exact spot, but I am going to use the little bees. I think I've got the pieces that I feel like are going to work best. And then you can see my stencil, and this is a 12x12 stencil. And let me see who made this. This is a Crafter's Workshop, and it's a big stencil that you could use for a whole 12x12 if you wanted to. I'm not going to use it that way. I'm just going to use it in a few small spots. I'm kind of trying to decide, mark these off, and so I'll know right where I want things. I'm going to go ahead and stick down the peaches, which I really honestly don't know if they're peaches. Most of this collection are apples and pears. I thought these looked more like peaches than the rest of it, and we were picking peaches on this day. We actually picked peaches and apples. They had both ripe at the same time, so we ended up picking both, and the page that will probably land in the album next to this will have some apple picking pictures. I just had a couple of those. So I probably use the same collection, and I'll just use the apples on that one. And these looked more like peaches. They may not be. Like I said, they might be something else. But that's okay. I'm going with their peaches. And I'm going to do a little test run here. This is scorched timber, and I wasn't sure. I did it very light-handedly, and that worked out well. So the collection didn't have any blue, and he's wearing blue, and I really love blue and yellow together. And so I'm gonna bring in this Uncharted Mariner and that stamp that has the script, and I'll just use it right over top of some of the mixed media with the scorched timber that I'm doing now. And I love this stencil. I ended up covering up more of that one that I really wanted to because I love the curve of that and that little branch that kind of the way it is. But anyway, that's how mixed media goes. You end up liking one area and then you cover it up, but that's okay. It worked out. And then I used this bigger knot hole down here, and the whole thing showed, and I didn't like it as much, but that's okay. I do love how the color worked with this layout. And then here is the script stamp. I believe this one is a Vicky Bouton one. I'm going to add it in a few places and then do some second generation stamping as well. That's and then of course I'll do some splatters too, but that's mostly all I did for mixed media on this one. I do love stenciling, and I've been getting a little more brave with the stamping on my layouts, so. But I really like how this blue matched so well with his shirt, and I just, like I said, I love blue and yellow together, the blue and yellow and green. It was a really pretty color combination, in my opinion, so cleaning off my stamp a little bit, but I'm gonna need more. And I almost had a big mess because I dropped my ink pad, but luckily it landed the way it did. So it worked out, or I would have had to rethink my mixed media. The background is actually, I don't think I said this, and I don't know if I showed you the back side of it or not, but it is out of the main pack. It's just a B-side, and I really liked it. Like I said, I love yellow anyway. I like this shade of yellow, and I really liked how it made the pictures pop. There's a lot of green in the background, and then, with his blue shirt on, I just thought this really made the pictures stand out more. Clean up some of mixed media, and obviously I have too many things on my desk because I'm just making messes here. I have stuff everywhere, and it's all flying. Decided on that little chipboard piece over top of her picture. And it says so good, and she was tasting the peach. It was pretty funny. The top pictures, you can see there's two in a series here. He jumped up to get that peach, and then he's got the peach in his hand. And I thought it was really funny because, I didn't think he would actually be able to jump up and get it. It was pretty high. And he said, take my picture, and so I did as he's jumping, and he sure did. He got it. Thought it was pretty cute, and he was proud of himself. These are the best pictures, when they're proud of themselves. So it's going to take me a minute. I love this grid background. It makes it so easy to line everything up, but I did put it down a little bit off center, so I'm fixing that now. Get everything stuck down, and then I can and just pop all of those layers back in. I used the laser cuts, and I did get back in some of the 1 millimeter foam tape that I have really been loving. So that's what I have used behind like the laser cuts. So those peaches there have this wheelbarrow, which is so pretty. I love that. Just kind of looks like an old antique wheelbarrow. Now for the pieces that are going to overlap partially with the picture, since I used fun foam on those, I felt like I needed to use fun foam also on the chipboard pieces so it would be an even layer. The 1 millimeter is actually even a little thinner than what the fun foam is. So I had to make it the right height because we don't want it to bend in the middle. That would look terrible. So I did add a little bit of the 1 millimeter on the bees, and I added extra on the wings than I did in the middle so that they can look like they're just flying away. And then I decided I wanted to pull that bee back up, and it would not come up, so it ended up right there. I kind of, when I'm doing clusters like this with different pieces, I like to have things touching. I feel like it makes it feel like it's all one cluster, and these pieces are not. And so I was going to overlap the bee over the peaches a little bit, but it wouldn't move, and so I left it. It's not horrible. It was just, I would have preferred it the other way. So also this little bird is over the picture, so it had to have the fun foam on it as well. I added a label up there so that I could have that reddish color. So I have, something that's green, something that's red, and something that is yellow in that cluster. Actually, the bird has yellow and kind of that bluish color actually on it. And then in the bottom, I have the delicious pickings. That is the reddish color, and then the label is yellow in the border. And then of course the leaves have the green on them, so I felt like that worked. And then I put that green piece on the other side of it. So then up here in this cluster, I used a couple of tickets. So the ticket had the red in it, the green was also the leaves there, and then the yellow is the title that says fresh picked, and then the word fun is right under that. So fresh picked fun, that fun is in a brown color. And I thought it stood out well, and I liked how that looked. Kind of made everything go together nicely. I should have cut a little bit of this out. I apologize. It's kind of taking longer than I like to have in a video to make my decisions, but that's how slow I go. So I guess you're seeing the real deal here. Well, actually not, because it's sped up 3 times, but closer to the real deal. I didn't take bits out where I was just thinking. I went ahead and left it in on this one. And there's more of that 1 millimeter foam tape. I did mention, I think in a different video, but I just got my box from Scrapbook.com because they got this back in. And because I had already run out and had to do several layouts without it, I ordered 7 rolls. So hopefully it'll last me a little longer. But they were having a very good sale for Cyber Monday, and I had to go ahead. I got some fun little freebies, and I really liked what I got, and then I got that on a good sale, so it was fun. I'm gonna add the little bees in here on this side also, and then I will pull out. I guess I already have my twine on my tag. Yes. Um, so I'm pretty close to the end here. I'm going to add a couple of the wishing bubbles, baubles, whatever you want to call them. I think it's both on some of the packaging. I don't know if it is on the newer ones or not, but I pull a couple of pieces. One that says loved this, and then a bee for the third cluster over there. And in the sketch, actually, there wasn't a third cluster, but I felt like I needed it on my layout, and so I added it over there. But otherwise, I think I stayed very true to the sketch sizing and everything. I put the title where the sketch had it and all of the things. So, but I'm going to add a couple of little hearts and a little bee again above that bird. Maybe I've already done it. I can't tell. And then that is going to be it. Again, I do have a playlist with all the information about everyone who plays along with Mix It Up Monday. and I would love it if you would check everyone out and leave them some love. If you have not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate all the comments that I get, the likes, the people who are taking the time to watch and subscribe. It means the world, and I really appreciate it. So here are my close-ups and the final layout completed. I hope you have a great day. I will be back hopefully this week for at least one wood grain in winter. I'm not sure how much time I'm going to have, but I'll give it my best shot, and we'll see you later. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.